Andy, Kentucky had made an emphasis of getting the ball into Bam more. How effective do you think they were at that, and what difference did that make in the game?
It's a huge difference. You know, I thought really, Jerry, the tone of the game was set. You know, we had talked about it. I've been pretty honest in my opinion. They're speeding the open floor, and they were just running by us in transition early. And then we lost composure. Maybe people say, was the game too big? That's a poor indictment on us. I would hope not, but maybe it was. You know, maybe we got guys that just weren't quite ready for it, and we start doing things that are out of character for us. Every team has a formula for success. Kentucky has one, and we have one. And we didn't follow our formula very well. And as a result, you dig an early hole, and then you start playing desperate basketball. And that's too good of a team to have to play desperate against for a prolonged period of time. Back to your original point, Bam's a big, strong kid who's got good touch around the basket. And we were allowing him to get too low post position. And then obviously superior players are going to make plays if you let them get too close, and he was making plays. We were trying early to change our defenses on misses and makes, and we were trying to get into that 1-3-1 to try to build a wall so De'Aaron Fox just couldn't dribble unimpeded up the floor. And again, a couple of late rotations. We weren't on top of our game to give ourselves a chance.
Do you think your guys understood how fast they would be, Andy?
That's a good question, because I just told our team, you know, wisdom is taking someone at their word and implementing it into your life, not having to experience it yourself. You know, everybody, if they put their hand in the fire, they know it's hot. But, you know, we all try to say, hey, man, that's hot. Don't put your hand in there. For whatever reason, this team has to put its hand in there. We talked about it ad nauseum. We've been playing 7-on-5 for 3 days and just running back. We haven't been very good at it against anybody. Because we watch too much and we find ourselves in no man's land where we're really not going to the offensive glass, which we're pretty good at, and we're not getting back in transition. And Kentucky is as good as I've seen a Kentucky team to be with their individual ability to get the ball out. They do a great job with their passing, and then they can really attack any open floor.
Is the conversation too now with the team, considering this game, you got to flush it, knowing that there are opportunities coming because the league is stronger?
Well, there's a lot of opportunities, sure. I mean, you know. The reality is we have 19 more games. We got to figure this out. Got to figure it out. And it's only one loss, thankfully. But we've got to look ourselves in the mirror a little bit and get back to our formula. You know, we all have a formula, and we certainly did not follow it tonight for us to have a chance.
Did you want or expect Saiz to take 7 3-pointers?
No, you know, I thought at the end, based on how they were guarding him, they were switching ball screens 1 through 4 and hedging at 5. So we were getting him in the ball screen where we could throw back. He took, I think, 4 or 5 before the first media. And then TD took 3 or 4. And all of a sudden you look up and you're down 10 points before you know it hits you. Shot selection again, poise. I can understand it a little bit out of TD. Cephas is a different deal. You know, Rasheed Brooks is a senior. And again, my mistake, but, you know, Cullen Neal and DeAndre Burnett, I thought would be ready for these moments, even though they have not had them with us. They've had them. And they've got to respond as leaders.
Do you have to kind of build Cullen's confidence up after a game like that?
I mean, this guy's played 100 games, you know. My job is to figure out the best way for us to win. You know, obviously, half of the deal is being a psychologist. So we'll certainly have to work on trying to help these guys understand. Again, this is the way that we can be successful, and we have to stay to this formula.
Andy, if you have a post guy who's productive, can that enhance his teammates, give them confidence that
No question.
throw it in there? And
If the next team Kentucky plays, who I don't know, if they let Bam catch it close because of Monk and because of Fox, and Isaiah Briscoe, even though he's not a prolific shooter, is a very prolific scorer. He does a great job of taking your space and has a way of maneuvering in and making baskets. I think the 3 of them together are a pretty potent combination. And then when Bam is isolated down there and you let him get low post touches, obviously, you know, they're going to be a tough matchup.
How difficult is that when you get De'Aaron Fox in early foul trouble? He sits 11 minutes in the first half, and they can basically put the ball in Briscoe's hands and let him kind of do what he was able to do.
You know, that's the advantage of having really good players. You know, and they've got a lot of versatility, and I think they've certainly played a challenging schedule to this point. They've been in some adverse circumstances, and they've responded. I knew they would be hungry after the game against Louisville. And I thought really in preparation, I would have never really saw this coming, other than I know, again, we've got to stay true to who we are to give ourselves a chance, and we got out of that early. And then we were trying to play catch up, and, you know, we struggled to score the ball efficiently at all, especially from three, some of them in it last. But, you know, the reality is you got to make some tough shots. Malik Monk he makes 5 for 7, and they weren't all wide open. You know, he makes real shots, and we've got to have guys that can step up, make some plays, and, you know, slow the bleeding a little bit when it was getting away from us.
You may have already kind of answered this, but did you learn anything about your team tonight?
Yeah, you know, initially after watching it live, I'm pretty critical. You know, Hugh from football. I mean, I watch it, and coaches always see the things that go wrong. I'll go back and I'll digest the tape, and hopefully we can find some things that we can build upon. But I was just really, you know, we've got a mantra: energy, focus, and toughness. And you know, I didn't, for 2 days we did not talk about, hey man, we got a great opportunity, we got to beat Kentucky, we got to beat Kentucky, we got to beat Kentucky. We talked about controlling the things that we can, and making sure that your energy is greater than the man that you're looking at. Making sure that your focus is locked in, and making sure toughness, and some of that's physical, because basketball's a physical game, and then more importantly, mental toughness. And I really thought we lost all 3 areas, and if you lose all 3 areas, you're certainly not going to beat Kentucky.
Do you think not having another solid post player like Saiz kind of throws things off offensively?
Well, we're certainly very dependent upon him, and people are doubling him. He had 6 turnovers tonight, but, you know, he worked so hard in there. We've got to get him some help at the 4. Eustace is scoring a little bit better, but between him and KG, we've got to get more efficient at that 4 spot so that other teams can just not completely abandon him and double Cephus us in the post. And then we've got to get our spacing right. Our point guard play was not up to par tonight. Again, it was a plethora of things.
I know you thought highly of Malik Monk already, but now that you had a chance to coach against him in a game, what are your impressions?
He's a terrific player. I mean, he's got the whole package. I saw him a lot. I have not seen De'Aaron Fox as much because I didn't see him on the circuit, but Malik Monk played for the Arkansas Wings, and I mean, I saw him a bunch. He's always been a fantastic athlete. His ability to make shots and create shots and elevate and get separation. He's got the complete package offensively.
Anything else?
Briscoe had a triple-double, Andy. How much of that is just a product of the pace of the game, more opportunities to do things, or is it, what significance is a triple-double in your mind?
I think it's, when's the last time a Kentucky player had one? You would know.
Last month.
Really? Who had it?
Fox.
Yes, De'Aaron Fox.
But that's.
Yeah, they're not easy to get. They're not easy to get because, you know, typically guys are going to be able to score. He's always been a prolific scorer, as we talked about. But I think some of it was pace of play. There was a lot of stuff in the open floor, which allows a 6'2", 6'3" guard to get him. He's a tenacious competitor. I know Cal wants him to take on that leadership role, and I think he certainly responded tonight.